I think she's a good dog. Hi everyone and welcome to 1/6 Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Rocket and Cosmo from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Full disclosure, I just pronounced Volume 3 correct, just for any of those non-Irish out there. So look, I actually think that this looks good, okay? So just before we go into this, full disclosure, I'm not going to get any of this line, okay? Not because I didn't like the movies or the characters. I think the three, twice in one video, must be my luck. I think that this is probably one of the strongest, it's probably, there's no probably about it. It's definitely one of the strongest trilogies in the MCU. I'd say the only one that rivals it is Captain America. I probably lean towards the Captain America trilogy. I thought that was a really, really strong trilogy, but if you look at the Iron Man, like I love Iron Man 1, and I love Iron Man 2. I think it gets a lot of unnecessary stick. It gave us a lot of great stuff. It gave us the original War Machine. It gave us the Mark 6, which is my favorite armor. It gave us that kill box scene towards the end. The Mark 5. So there was a lot of great action scenes, but I get maybe the story wasn't up to par. I really didn't like Iron Man 3. And then if you look at Thor had some duds there as well. But my point is, the Guardians of the Galaxy is a very, very strong trilogy. Not just an MCU trilogy, just a very, very strong trilogy. I love all of the characters. James Gunn has this gift of taking these random eclectic bunch of people and characters and creatures and then making you care about them. And this particular movie, which I really thought it was good. The MCU needed a win. I was getting tired of going to the cinema, and it's expensive to go to the cinema now and paying to see these mediocre movies. But like, I just felt like if I missed one, A, it might be a good movie, and B, I kind of need to piece together things that happen then, and I feel like I'd missed something then. So they've got us there. Look, it's the marketing juggernaut. But anyway, love this movie. I thought it was a great end to a very, very strong trilogy. And yeah, Rocket is actually my favorite Guardian of the Galaxy. And not just saying it because of this movie. Obviously has a very, very detailed and strong story arc here. But the only Guardians of the Galaxy character I own in 6 scale is Rocket. I have him up there on a floating shelf on the Endgame Iron Patriot's shoulder. So I actually love the Screaming Sculpt. I mean, what I like about Rocket is he's a bit of an asshole. He's a wise guy. He's cheeky. He wanted to steal those batteries in Volume 2. And I just like all the guns and how smart he is. Like, he can fly anything. He can create all these things, these gadgets. He likes the big guns. His humor is fantastic. So, and I like Bradley Cooper too. So this particular movie and this particular set, I thought it was clever on Hot Toys' part to include the Cosmo, because this is like I think this is the 4th Rocket. So I believe there was one from Volume 1, Volume 2 and Endgame. If I'm leaving something out, please let me know in the comment section down below. But I thought it was a clever move to include Cosmo, and I think Cosmo was kind of a fan favorite in the movie. The only thing is, this should really have come with, is it Kraglin? I hope I've got that right. James Gunn's brother's character in the MCU that, that gets the fin off Yondu and stuff, who had a big part in this movie as well. They don't really get screen time together, Rocket and Cosmo. Maybe they're in a screen, but they're not like a team or a duo. It would make more sense that Kraglin came, but obviously this is a sign that Kraglin isn't coming. I really hope I'm saying that character's name right. But anyway, so it's a cool inclusion, but it's a bit like, yeah, we know what you're up to there. This is the 4th version of this. Not too much has changed here. They haven't given us the 2nd head sculpt. So do I think the figure's a bad figure? No, not at all. Is it a triple threat? I really like the character. I love the source material. And this particular version, I don't think this is the version for me. The version for me is the Endgame version, and I think you can still pretty much I think you can get that cheap enough as well. The thing is, I see a lot of people, they were saying that they wished that this particular character, this particular Rocket, came with an extra sculpt, because this is $280. This is a pre-order product. It's due to drop sometime between Q3 and Q4 of next year. And a lot of people were saying, again, I don't want to give any spoilers, but a lot of people complained about the Endgame because it had just that Screaming Sculpt. I loved it because When I think of Rocket, he's annoyed, he's pissed off, and he's shooting some big gun, and he's roaring and screaming at someone. It's a war pose. So for what I wanted to do, it was fine. But I appreciate maybe if you just want it in an ensemble, or maybe it's in a pose where it wouldn't make sense for him to be screaming. I totally get that. I think the Volume 2 version came with 2 different head sculpts. I think that's what they should have done here, because for $280, you could argue that this is a bit more expensive than it should have been. Obviously, they're including the dog to kind of bump it up to that $280 and maybe realizing just give another Rocket it mightn't sell. So I think a lot of people might actually get this for the dog. The sculpt itself, I thought they should have included a second one. I think if they included a second more neutral or even a sad kind of a face or expression, then I don't think anyone would have been talking about the $280 price point. I think it would have been fair because you get Rocket, you get the dog, and then you get the second sculpt, and the expression would be a bit more specific to this movie. This expression here, however, I've seen him, I know what they're going for. I've seen him make this kind of snarling expression before in different movies, but this does kind of remind me of the meme dog. Sorry. And if you look at it, he kind of has like his teeth. I thought his teeth were a bit more vicious looking. These are a bit more denture-ish. I know that's probably nitpicking. Anyway, it's a reused sculpt. They should have given us the neutral or sad sculpt and then given us this as well. Problem solved. I just think he kind of has dentures here or whatever. So we'll flick through some of these photos. I think that great call on the dog. I think that's a great inclusion, even though it doesn't necessarily make sense. I see a lot of people giving out about the dog. Well, the narrative I've been hearing all week is that it's better than Einstein, but it still should have been more articulated. I don't think this needs to be articulated. I mean, realistically, like, I don't know. I know if it's articulated, what do dogs do? They sit down, they stand up, they roll over. I mean, I don't need this to be articulated. If I was to get it, I just think I think it looks good. I actually think it looks good. I think it's a random, funny. It's a dog in a spacesuit. Come on, it's what's not to like. So I think this is like, you really have to. It's not really 2 figures. I think is the back legs are articulated. I think it is the back legs are articulated, or is the front? I don't know. There's one of the sets. It's at the front or the back are a bit articulated. I might read later on and figure out that for sure. But like, you know, Rocket looks good. I think maybe they should have done something with his teeth. I'm trying to see. Maybe I'm being overly critical on this. Like, I don't think the teeth are great, to be honest. Like, I think from my recollection of him when he's angry, his teeth are a bit sharper and maybe not in as good condition as this. Like, he looks like he's just first day after getting his braces off. And that's no disrespect to the character. I love Rocket. It's just this film was just well worth watching. So it comes with his gun. I think he has 3 guns in total. He's got that huge one here he's holding in his right hand and his left. Obviously there's a teaser there. Not even a teaser. You're going to get a Starlight. I really hope they complete this line, because loads of people, like a lot of my collecting friends, actually want this line, and a lot of YouTubers and content creators and people in the chat as well are crying out for this, because like they're fan favorites. They're just a great motley crew of characters, and I really hope they do complete this line for people who want to get that full line. Expensive though. I think it's about like, I mean, I think in what they teased us, there was like 6. If they're all 300 each, you're talking like, you know, 1,800, but that's before shipping tax and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, again, you can see the way the dog's a bit kind of plasticky looking there. I don't know how could they do that. If this was rooted, I think it would look ridiculous. I mean, is that even an option? So I think the front legs are the ones that are actually articulated and the back legs aren't. So you've got this kind of key card here. I don't want to get into details on that. I don't want to spoil anything. But see here, he's sitting down. I don't know why he's showing this to the dog. Like, I mean, it doesn't make sense at all. And this doesn't happen in the movie. So here, the expression doesn't really make sense. Whereas back here, it makes sense. Back here, it makes sense. And even there, he's just like ready to fight there. That makes sense as well, that expression. I think the dog looks good. I think but I don't see this as a figure. I don't see this as a 2-pack. I see this as an accessory, you know, and I think it's a nice accessory, because people in the movie, if you watch the movie and you've seen the movie, you know the dog gets a bit of screen time. It's pretty cool. So here, that must be magnetic. Then the big gun must slap onto his back. There's 3 different guns. You got the big one on his back there, and these ones, are they the same or different? No, they look a bit. It's hard to tell there from that angle, but I'd say I think they look the same to me. Yeah, I think they're the same. Okay. So if you're having kind of an action pose, it makes sense. But if you're kind of doing kind of a pose where he's talking to someone else, it mightn't make sense, that particular expression. Like, that's a bit funny there. Like, the dog looks happy and he does not look happy. Look, in conclusion, this trilogy is great. If you haven't seen the movie, go out and watch it. It's a lot of fun. It's sad. It has great action. The characters have great development. It's a lot of fun. The soundtrack is amazing. It's you know, the MCU. I haven't seen a good MCU movie. Last MCU movie that blew me away was No Way Home, and I really left the cinema really happy with this. Wakanda Forever was solid, but I mean, come on, like they were making a film there with with probably both hands tied behind their back in the event of Chadwick Boseman's death, rest in peace. But yeah, look, this isn't for me, but I'm glad that they're going down this line. I'm glad that they've included Cosmo. I think the price is a little bit too expensive. I think the dog looks good. I don't think it needs to be articulated, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, full disclosure, I wouldn't be picking it up anyway. Just quick look at everything it comes with. The usual base, swap out hands, boots, stop doing that. You've got this key card, I'm not going to go into detail about that. You got the big gun, it seems to be magnetically strapped to his back, the same way the BFG straps onto cables back or attaches onto cables back. And then you got two other smaller guns, and you get the dog. I presume they're showing this dog's bum because the tail articulates. I'm guessing, why else would they show that? Bit strange if not. But that's it, yeah. Look, if you want to support the channel, oh yeah, there are going to be videos coming up as well. I got the DX13 in, which was basically, I've been looking for that. I've wanted that for years. I got it in this week. Thankfully, the pleather on it is holding up, and I'll be reviewing that. Shout out to Lion Rock Toys. Also, Mando Luke is right here. This is one of those figures. This reminds me of actually getting Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Ben Kenobi in. I knew I'd like it, but the presence on the shelf, it's just on another level. I didn't think I knew I'd like this, but I just wasn't prepared for how much I liked it. The head sculpt, the Jedi tunic underneath. I almost didn't want to put the robe on, but thankfully I posed it in a way where, you know, the robe is open, you can see the tunic underneath, and the same with the hood is really good, and it's wired, and it just posed in a way where I can show the head sculpt, the tunic. I've got a CCFL saber here. I'm actually just going to show you this now, and I managed to wire it up quite clean actually. So there's a review on the way for the DX13. Shout out to Lion Rock Toys. The Mando Luke, again, shout out to Lion Rock Toys. And then the CCFL Luke Skywalker lightsaber that was from Art 15 Custom. So shout out to them. And there's going to be a review on all that stuff, and I'm going to show you how I wired it. I actually wired it quite clean. So I just want to show you. So just even, I'm at a stage now, my vision is just to be able to just do this, and then everything is attached. So then again, just from app on my phone to my smart plug, just one click and the Luke lights will light up and the lightsaber lights up. There we go. So yeah, because I've got fusion reactors actually coming in as well from a different company for the Mark 6 Iron Man and the War Machine Mark 1. So yeah, it's just really nice. You'll see in the review. But anyway, look, if you want to support the channel, and shout out to, just massive thank you to anyone who's actually taken the time to subscribe or watching the videos or liking the videos. We hit 2,000 subs last week, and it really is appreciated. So if you want to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know if you've seen this movie and you liked it or not, and let me know if you're picking this one up or not. You can also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.